Welcome, freaks and fiends, to another episode of Real Talk with the Doctor. Now, instead of my usual top 5, this week I got something special. Because instead of Easter eggs, the Easter Bunny bought me screeners! So today, we are looking at 3 unreleased gems that are coming your way soon. So let's get the projector rolling and get this shit started! Forthy 2024 is one of those rare no-budget films that doesn't feel limited by its resources. Instead, it feels sharpened by them. Written and directed by Bazz Hancher, this is a restrained, eerie antichrist story that trades spectacle for atmosphere, and it's all the better for it. At the centre is Kamal Yildirim as Boyd Fallon, delivering a grounded, quietly intense performance that anchors the entire film. There's no overacting here, no theatrical villainy. Instead, Boyd feels human, measured, conflicted, and unsettling in a way that creeps up on you rather than announcing itself. That subtlety is key to why the film works. Hancher's approach is surprisingly subdued, especially if you're familiar with some of his more aggressive stylistic tendencies. Here, the horror is patient. It builds slowly, letting dread settle into the cracks rather than forcing it. There's an almost oppressive calm to the film, like something is constantly just about to happen, but never in the way you expect. What stands out most is how thoughtful the film feels. This isn't just an end of the world or rise of evil narrative. It's reflective, it asks questions, it lingers. The kind of movie that sticks with you not because of a single shocking moment, but because of the quiet implications that unfold after the credits roll. Technically, it punches above its weight. For a no-budget production, the effects are impressively handled, never overused, always purposeful. They serve the story rather than distract from it, which is exactly what you want from a film like this. 45 proves that horror doesn't need scale to be effective. It needs control, intent, and a clear voice. Hancher delivers all 3. A slow burn, eerie, and surprisingly introspective take on the Antichrist mythos that absolutely deserves our attention. This House is Totally Haunted is a perfect example of how to do modern found footage right. Directed by Nichols Lynch, the film starts with a familiar setup. A paranormal investigation team heading into the woods to document the story of a lone survivor connected to a supposed suicide cult. From the outset, it feels grounded. The characters are believable, the performance is natural, and the dynamic between the team feels authentic. You buy into them quickly, which is essential for a film that relies so heavily on immersion. But what really makes this stand out is how it evolves. What begins as a fairly standard paranormal investigation slowly unravels into something far stranger, weirder, and more unpredictable. The survivor story doesn't quite sit right, and as more layers are peeled back, the film starts to shift in tone in ways that keep you constantly guessing. Importantly, it never over-explains itself. It trusts the audience. It lets moments breathe, and when things do escalate, they do so in ways that feel earned rather than forced. There's also a subtle thread of absurdity running through the film, not enough to break the tension, but just enough to give it personality. It knows what it is and it leans into it without losing control. The pacing is tight, the tension consistent, and the mystery engaging throughout. It's the kind of found footage film that reminds you why the format still works when it's handled properly. Highly entertaining, genuinely intriguing, and packed with moments that will stick with you. Definitely one to go into as blind as possible. No spoilers. Peter Vax, www.rachelormond.com, is not an easy watch, and that's entirely the point. This is a psychedelic, techno-saturated satire that doesn't just comment on online culture. It drags it into the light and forces you to sit with it. At its core, the film explores what it means to grow up in captivity. Not physical captivity, but digital. A world where identity is shaped online, where validation replaces connection, and where the line between performance and reality has all but disappeared. Vac doesn't hold back. Not stylistically, not thematically, and certainly not emotionally. Casting his own sister in the lead role alongside family members adds a layer of raw vulnerability that makes the entire experience feel uncomfortably real. There are moments that feel invasive, deeply personal, and intentionally so. It challenges the viewer's boundaries in the same way the internet has blurred our own. The film dives headfirst into the normalization of things that outside of a screen would feel deeply unsettling. It confronts controversial rhetoric, hypersexualized identity, and the performative nature of modern existence. And it does so without cushioning the blow. Visually and structurally, it mirrors the chaos of online life. Fragmented, overstimulating, hypnotic. But beneath that is a very clear message. We've adapted to a reality that isn't real. And that's what makes the film so effective. For an hour and 20 minutes, you're forced to disengage from your own screen habits and actually watch. And in doing so, you start to see just how strange the normal we've accepted has become. It's bold, it's uncomfortable, it's necessary. Not everyone will like it, but everyone will feel something. And that's it for this week. 3 gems that are currently on the verge of release. I am trying my hardest to chase down all these filmmakers for interviews, maybe some of the actors too. So hopefully we'll have more chats coming on Real Talk real soon. If you want your movie reviewed or your filmmaker or actor who looking for a chat, then hit up my DMs on Instagram at AliveAlivePod or email at itsalivealivepod@gmail.com. I'll be back next week talking more horror. See you all then. Same Alive Alive time, same Horrorverse channel. Okay, love you. Bye-bye. If you like that, then check out our Patreon with subs, only $5 a month with a 7-day free trial. That's at the Horrorverse Network, only on Patreon.